What's going on, guys? It's Joe with Strictly Commerce. Inside of today's video, we're going to be going over everything you need to know about shipping and logistics for Amazon FBA.
This is amazing. Amazon FBA, behind the scenes. This is the business. Right here in the grid. Fuck it.
So inside of this video, we're going to be going over everything that you need to know in order to ship your inventory into Amazon FBA, how to minimize your shipping costs, how to get your inventory checked in efficiently, how to make sure that you actually know your numbers and are doing your research right in terms of shipping, and basically an overall guide as to how to get your inventory shipped into Amazon FBA in 2023. Shipping is one of those things that you actually can control compared to something like Amazon FBA fees where they're never going to change and they're realistically only going to go up. With shipping, you can actually save money by shipping your inventory in certain ways and shipping to certain fulfillment centers in order to make sure that you're paying as little as possible per pound all the time. So in terms of shipping, overall, a general good rule of thumb, whether you're a beginner, intermediate, or advanced seller, is the more you send at one time, the cheaper it is going to be per pound or per unit to actually ship your inventory into FBA. This is the same for if you're shipping 10 units, 100 units, 1,000 units, or even 10,000 units. The more you send at a time, in general, it's going to drive your shipping costs down overall and have you a better cost per unit or cost per pound. There are 3 different ways for you to ship your Amazon FBA inventory to Amazon fulfillment centers, and those are SPD or small parcel delivery via UPS partnered carriers, LTL, which is less than truckload, also utilizing partnered carriers, or you can utilize a third-party non-partnered carrier, or FTL, which is full truckload, where you're basically sending a dedicated truck to an Amazon fulfillment center. And this could also be via partnered carriers utilizing Amazon Freight, or it could just be with a third-party carrier using somebody else. So when you're just starting out, you're most of the time going to be shipping via SPD, small parcel delivery, and this is basically just boxes via UPS into FBA. In general, to estimate your shipping, you're going to want to estimate anywhere from 25 to 40 cents per sellable pound of inventory, meaning that if your inventory is 1 pound, you're going to want to estimate anywhere from 25 to 40 cents per unit. If your inventory is 2 pounds, that's going to be 50 to 80 cents per unit, and so on. If it's less, obviously you can divide those numbers down too to make them work. With SPD, you're going to want to be putting your boxes as close to 50 pounds as humanly possible because that's the max amount of pounds per box that you can have. So if you have a box, you're going to want to get it to like anywhere from 40 to 45, even 48 pounds on the safe side. You don't want to go over 50 because you will get charged a $25 fee if your box is over 50 pounds or over 25 inches in length on any side. Additionally, you're also kind of charged for the volume. So if you're shipping really large boxes, like a 24 by 24 by 18 or something that big, it's still going to cost you more for that box because it's like volume, it's bigger, even if it was only like 20 to 30 pounds per box. So you're going to want to pack as much as you can into as small of a box as you can to get to 50 pounds. Obviously, this goes without saying, you're not going to want to crush any of your inventory, break it, squeeze it in the box to where it could get damaged in transit. Keep in mind that partnered carriers and like UPS drivers and, receiving and shipping on both ends, people are going to be throwing your boxes. They're going to take a tumble. They're going to fall in a DC or get crushed in a truck. So make sure you're packing your items well because there is a good chance that stuff gets damaged. And you don't want to pack it in a way that it can easily get damaged, knowing that there's a good chance that it does anyway. So with that being said, with SPD, you're going to want to pack as much as you can into one box and as many boxes as you can into one shipment at a time. The more you send at once, the better. But in general, this is always going to cost you anywhere from 25 to 40 cents per pound to ship these in. And this is just basically going to be for as long as you're doing this type of shipping until you get to the next level, which is LTL. Now with LTL, this is again less than truckload. And basically what it means is it's multiple pallets or just one pallet, but it's not a full truck. So you're going to be paying anywhere from $80 to $150 per pallet in most cases, and you can stack those pallets up to 1,500 pounds per pallet, including pallet weight, and up to 72 inches in height. So with these, you can drop your shipping costs down to probably somewhere around 10 cents a pound or less, but keep in mind that this is obviously going to depend on the item size and how many items you could fit on the pallet before it gets to 1,500 pounds or your height requirement. There's some pallets where we have 800 pounds, but we're packed out. There's other pallets where they're super tiny, but they're 1,500 pounds, and that's kind of packed out. So it just depends on what you're building. In general, with this, again, the more you send at once, the better. And you can estimate anywhere from 10 to 25 cents per pound to ship these in. If you just divide that out, it's basically up to $150 a pallet divided by 1,500 pounds. It's like 10 cents a pound. And then if you could fit less on there, that obviously goes up. And sometimes they're going to be more or less depending on the size of the item.
This is big brain time.
The one caveat to shipping LTL is it generally takes 2 to 3 weeks to get your inventory checked in. So if you're somebody that's a beginner, kind of starting to scale, getting into that intermediate range where pallets might start to make sense for you, the recommendation that I have is ship all of your inventory that's like a pound or less than 2 pounds via SPD still to get it checked in much faster, and then ship all of your 2 pounds and heavier inventory LTL. Even though it's going to take longer, you're going to save a ton of money. Remember that part of this cost is how long it takes to actually get this inventory checked into Amazon. So you're going to have to, take that into consideration, especially when using LTL. You can make this go a little bit faster via third-party carriers and non-partnered carriers for LTL. However, it still does take a while because basically the way that this works is LTL, they'll drive around and then bring your inventory to one of their distribution centers, and then it'll sit there until there's enough inventory at their DC to make one dedicated load to the Amazon warehouse. So it could take them 3 days for them to get enough stuff to go to the warehouse. It could take them 3 weeks to get enough stuff to go to the warehouse, depending on your carrier. So LTL can take a long time, but it is a lot cheaper than SPD. But you have to factor in the fact that it takes so much longer, and also partnered carriers are kind of expensive in some cases. The last shipping method into Amazon FBA is FTL, or full truckload. Basically what this means is you have a dedicated trailer picking up inventory from your facility and shipping it directly to the Amazon FBA warehouse. So it's going right from you, right to its appointment on Amazon, nobody else's stuff, and it's not stopping anywhere until it goes there. So this is obviously going to be the fastest because you can have your inventory checked in within 3 or 4 hours, and also the cheapest because it could cost you anywhere from like $500 to $600 per truckload to go into FBA, depending on how far you are, and you could fit 20 to 30 pallets in that truckload. So this can make your cost down to like less than $50 per pallet, but obviously you have to be shipping in a lot of volume for it to be worth it. So if you guys are curious as to what you need to be doing, I would recommend in the beginning, ship everything SPD and try and pack as much as you can into each shipment. When you start to get to the point where SPD is becoming expensive or you're just sending a lot of boxes at a time, you're going to want to look into LTL, probably within the 100 boxes at a time range, or when you're sending like roughly 1,500 pounds at a time into FBA, into one destination in one shipment. When you can up yourself to FTL, you are going to start to save a ton of money on shipping, and this is going to allow you to sell a lot more SKUs, as you could estimate like $50 per pallet in terms of your cost, which can drop down to like 3 to 5 cents per pound in shipping, even like 5 cents per unit in some cases. So it's obviously going to be a lot cheaper to ship that way and more efficient. But something that you guys could do and look into is look into partnering with a prep center that's going to be able to ship on their loads for you. They might upcharge you a little bit on the shipping. However, it's going to allow you to get your stuff sent in a lot quicker. And the money that you're sending to the prep center, you're sending the money to them and you're saving a ton on shipping, plus all of your time back. So it could be something that helps you a ton and allows you to get your inventory into Amazon for cheaper and scaling quicker. So you want to look into that too. With that being said, that's everything you need to know about shipping your inventory into Amazon FBA and logistics as a whole. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and thank you for your business.